Hello everyone, and thanks again for joining us on Oshkosh Today. All things local Oshkosh, your source for all things local Oshkosh. I'm your host, Emily Mikowski, and joining us now is our very first guest of the show, Mary Ann Dilling from EAA in Oshkosh, here to tell us about a really cool series coming up at the EAA Museum called the Soaring for Success Speaker Series. So Mary Ann, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having us here. We really appreciate it.
Yes, it's always great to have EAA over because you guys always have so many cool things going on. And this one is a new thing, the Soaring for Success Speaker Series. What exactly is it? What's it all about?
Well, basically, it's an opportunity. We took some time and talked to the different entities in the community, the organizations, the business leaders, and said, what can EAA do? We want to be a good partner. And we do this aviation thing and around the world, and we're the cutting edge. But we also want to make sure that we're a good partner in our community. So in listening to them, one of the things is, they wanted to send some of their staff. They want to learn more about different topics. So we decided to implement a series, and that was the Soaring for Success.
And this is really kind of directed at the business community here in Oshkosh. And so who's the first speaker in the series here?
Well, it took a long time to decide. We actually surveyed a lot of people and with a lot of different ideas. But one of the things that stuck out was Google. And why Google is if you are a millennial, you are Gen X, you are a baby boomer, you automatically know Google. The brand is there, and Google does it very well.
Oh, so, they do.
Yeah, they do.
You think of Google as like a beacon in the business world. They're always ahead of the game and things like that. So what better person to have than someone from Google? And his name is Darren Pleasance. Am I pronouncing that right?
You are. It's Darren Pleasance.
So what's his role at Google?
He is the Google Global Acquisition. He's with the team, and he has 1,700 in his team in 32 different countries. He is a phenomenal speaker. We're very blessed to have him. But his team really works with digital marketing. And so it helps businesses to learn how they can, grow within the digital marketing.
Very cool. So obviously he'll be talking about digital marketing. Anything else, other topics that he'll be talking about in his presentation for this particular presentation?
Well, there is. And it was kind of funny when we started serving people and we said Google, they automatically said, like HR stepped forward and said, it's one of the #1 places to work in the world. And I said, well, I thought EAA was #1. But we actually
#2.
It's #2. So we actually talked to different departments, we talked to different people in the community, and it was hard to pinpoint because Google does everything really well. And so we are going to be talking a little bit about that resource of how you work with your staffs and make sure they have a great experience at work. But then they're the cutting edge, so they have the Google Glass, they have self-driving cars, something that's definitely we all want to learn more about. But to see the backside of that is going to be exciting.
Yeah, see what's all behind these cool technologies. Hopefully he'll bring something along like the Google Glass for people to test out a little bit. That might be kind of cool.
That would be a blast. I think we'd all like it a lot.
Yeah, and even maybe get an insight of what it's like to work at Google, because you see in movies that people working at Google, they've got slides and they got the nap areas and stuff. So even to hear some cool stuff like that, fun facts from him, might be interesting. So how will attendees to this presentation benefit from hearing Darren talk about his experiences at Google?
Well, one of the things that we definitely heard in talking with the business leaders was the fact that they all want to give their staff and themselves education. They all want to invest in their employees. And so in saying that, it's sometimes hard to find those resources. So you have to send them maybe to a different state or a different city. So the cost is quite astronomical between transportation, hotels, and so forth. This is an opportunity to recharge your battery. Take time to really think, how do I want to grow my business? What can I do? And I think that's what we need, a little bit more of that. And we're always, trying to meet our deadlines, get everything done, but spending that time to actually sit back and go, what is our game plan? Make sure we have that strategic plan going forward.
So, not only focusing on the day-to-day work, but having people think forward to, their dreams and hopes for the future.
It's very true. And I think the other part of it is, we're going to listen to the guests that are there and hear what they want to. We have a lot of other speakers on the list, and we want to learn, what they want to hear about. But Google's also becoming a partnership with us, and they've offered to come back. So if they say, we definitely want a smaller session just on HR, then we can definitely deliver that.
Wonderful. So who exactly is this open to? Who's able to attend something like this, and how do they go about doing that?
Actually, anyone can attend. We actually have a rate for students, also a lower rate for $20. Businesses, if they're bringing more than a couple of staff, can actually purchase a table and sponsor a table. But it's actually anyone that wants to learn.
Excellent. And where can they get tickets? How is there just on the website they're able to go to?
Yeah, EAA.org dash success. So.
Dash success.
Yeah.
And so maybe you can talk a little bit more about EAA as an organization. For those of us who are few and far between that aren't too familiar with EAA, what exactly is it and what's it all about?
Well, we have a phenomenal, I want to start out by saying, we have a phenomenal team. EAA is just a great place to work. We're very blessed. But we have this thing in aviation. Our museum is outstanding. Part of the ticket that you're purchasing, you get breakfast with, and you also get a museum pass to come back at your leisure and spend time learning about aviation. It is our museum. We open up to the public all the time, but we also do a lot of events for children because our mission is, promoting aviation. And so it's been a great place for us also to get the field trips in, the children in, the groups in, and learn. And that's what we're all about.
And you have an amazing children's area at the museum. I know last time we visited you at the EAA museum, you walked us through, gave us a quick little mini tour, and it's just amazing how much you can learn, as an adult, let alone a child, to come and see all that cool stuff. So what would you say is kind of like the highlight that what's the favorite thing at the museum that you've got to see if you visit?
I think it's the history. I think it's learning. You can learn about all the different planes, how they were used in which war. You can learn about who was the pilot. And interesting enough, even with Darren Pleasance, we learned that he's also a pilot.
Oh, really?
And he is very much into EAA, so it worked out really well. But it's amazing how many people you will meet that have an aviation background. And I think the history and how aviation's been instrumental in how we got to where we are in the world. So. Not
to mention there's a lot of really cool displays that you can see. Just walking in there, it's like amazing. You don't even know what to look at first. There's so much to see. And I think it's great that people are aware that it's not just EAA AirVenture every summer, that there's so much more. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about some other things you have coming up here for the rest of the year at EAA.
Oh, you bet. We actually, after EAA or Oshkosh, we actually went right into Pathfinders. And Pathfinders comes every 5 years. That was something that none of us had experienced because our team was pretty new. And it was a great experience. We were very, very fortunate. The community had over a $10 million economic impact into Oshkosh. Then we went right into the Stearman, which is into our mission. In that event, actually, we had all these different Stearman planes come in, and you could see them around Oshkosh doing formations and so forth. And then we went into the logging Congress. Yes. And that was something that, if you've ever seen chainsaw artists and the logging shows and so forth, that was something fun to enjoy. We also, of course, were here before and talked to you about Christmas in the Air. Yes. And we are making some changes on Christmas in the Air. We are moving to December 6th, which is a Saturday. Oh. So went from a Monday to a Saturday. A lot of the old great performances that we've seen in the past will be there, but we're adding some new elements so that it can mix it up a little bit and kids can have more fun.
Yes, and we will definitely be having you back for that event, that huge event here in Oshkosh. So we got about a minute left. Maybe you can just kind of recap the dates and times and the little overview of what's coming up here with Darren Pleasance.
So come see Darren Pleasance from Google. It is November 12th. That's a Wednesday. We're going to open the doors at 7:30. 7:38 will be registration. Breakfast will be served. And then you can actually experience Darren and Google. Learn everything you've ever wanted to know about Google. There's going to be a great Q&A time. And then after that, we will have you coming back to enjoy our museum, and hopefully the experience is positive. We'd like to continue. Next one we want to do is in April. So
April, excellent. So coming up, once in a lifetime experience, I think you could say. And again, you can find more information at eaa.org/success.
/success, and it's $35, so it's pretty economical to send quite a few staff members. So.
Wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to it, and thanks so much, Marianne, for coming in and telling us all about it.
Thank you. We really appreciate that.